Hey, once again. Today we're going to learn some things that are probably pretty close to our hearts because the monetary system has controlled us for many, many years, and one of the key things has been the loan market and how we go to banks to apply for loans and things like that. So today we're going to be looking at a few of their secrets. We're going to find out how they create the money, and this is very different to what most of the gurus have taught you over the years. I will show you exactly what they do, but I'm also going to show you how they con us because there are a few little tricks that we need to be made aware of. Okay, so the first thing we need to learn is what is a security. If you don't know what a security is, you're never going to understand how a bank works. A security is a form of ownership in an entity. Okay, so the entity that we're talking about here is the Siddhikay Vai Trust, the straw man, the person, whatever you want to call him. While some believe that in order to be a security, the instrument must be traded on a market, the legal definition of a security is much broader. The definition is important because the instrument, or if the instrument is a security, then the federal and state securities law apply to the purchase and sale of that instrument. So these securities get purchased, they get sold, and these securities earn interest and all sorts of other things. So let's delve a little bit deeper into the Securities Act 1978, which is the New Zealand legislation. And in this act, unless the context otherwise requires, the term security means any interest or right to participate in any capital, assets, earnings, royalties, or other property of the person, right? We already established what the person was in the previous slide. It's the Siddhikay Vai, it's the straw man, whatever you want to call it. But it also has a interest in a superannuation scheme, a unit trust, a debt security. Okay, so you'll find that these securities are trading with the CUSIP number. So if you apply for your CUSIP number, you'll find out exactly how much these securities are earning. So the superannuation policy is put on the life of the trust, but the trust is dependent on our life. So there is a superannuation scheme, life insurance policy in place that is trading. You'll find that with your CUSIP number, and you'll find how much they're worth. And there's a substantial amount in them, I can assure you. Okay, we'll move along to how they actually create the money. And this may surprise you. When we apply for a loan, there's only one thing they need from us. They need a power of attorney. So if they have a power of attorney, now they can access our trust. Plain and simple. They're Crown agents, they can access our trust. And this is how they do it. The moment they get power of attorney, they order a birth certificate. Wonder why? Oh, birth certificate's on security paper. And on the back of every birth certificate, there will be a different number. I've ordered many, many, many birth certificates over my time, and everyone has a different number on the back because they are like a blank check, which we will now discover how they create the money. The reverse side of the birth certificate is blank or inchoate. Maybe a new word for you. So let's look at the 1908 Bills of Exchange Act. Inchoate instruments, where a simple signature on a blank stamp paper is delivered by the signer in order that it may be converted into a bill. It operates as prima facie authority to fill it up as a complete bill for any amount the stamp will cover. Okay, this is how they do it, folks. They order a birth certificate, they turn it over, and they complete it. But what do they do, you may ask? The bank writes a bond on the back of the birth certificate. Now, these bonds are then sent to Computershare. They used to go to the Treasury, but in 2010, because the old system, the Age of Pisces, was coming to an end, the new system came in 2012, but it hasn't been completed. There's still a lot of people kicking and screaming out there, but so Computershare now is the one that does all the bonds. What they do with these bonds is they bundle them up, probably into a $1 billion tranche, and then they put them out to the market. Now, the main ones who buy the bonds, or who purchase the bonds, would be pension funds, trustee companies, Vanguard, BlackRock, the likes. They would purchase these because they have a coupon rate. And the coupon rate is very important to them. It's a very low rate, normally between 1% and 2%. But they purchase them because it's a good, steady source of income for them. Computershare float the bond. The bank is notified when the bond is picked up. Now, Treasury used to hop on the phone and say the bond has been picked up. So what would happen next would be that the bank would call us to confirm that the loan is approved. Okay, now they will never put in writing that your loan has been approved. All they do is give us a call and say your loan is approved. Now something very different happens. Let's just call it sleight of hand. These two fine young gentlemen here. The bank deposits the funds into the lawyer's trust account. And look at them, the fine young gentlemen. They call us to sign a mortgage agreement. Now, remembering we applied for a loan, not a mortgage. But because the bond has gone out to one of the major institutions, they need to get the coupon rate. So when we sign the mortgage agreement, that means that we are going to be paying a coupon rate to the purchaser of the bonds, and the remainder of the interest rate goes to the banks. But these two fine gents, they're not finished yet. There's one more little trick they've got up their sleeve. Oh, I forgot to mention the reason that the banks do it the way they do. They now have an arm's length transaction when they give it to the lawyers. So the arm's length transaction, they say, oh, we had no idea that the lawyers were going to do that. We put it into their trust account for safekeeping. They wouldn't pull a Swifty like that, would they? But these two fine gents, they've got one more little trick up their sleeve. They ask us to sign a change of address. Now, when we sign that change of address, guess what happens? Because there is a charge against the land being us, they get the change of address and they say, here is who you will charge. They send it off to the local councils, and same as land tax, they send it off to the local councils. The local council now knows who to charge rates or land tax to, the land that they will put that charge against. So that's how you end up paying rates. If you don't sign that, or if you actually read that change of address, you'll see exactly what I'm saying there. So in summary, banks are agents for the trust. The power of attorney gives them the right to act as administrators of the trust. Now, being administrators, they get their commission for doing that. Now, I hope this very, very simple and short video has explained it to you in a lot more correct way than what a lot of the other people are telling you out there. And now you can start asking questions, sharing your knowledge. Remember, knowledge is power. The more that you share it, the more information will come to you. Good luck out there, guys.